what we're doing today, we're cooking dirt. Yeah, it's as dumb a statement as I can think of. All right, so the first step to cooking dirt, you gotta get yourself a sieve. Normally you could use like a flour sifter, that would work. The thing is, we had what is essentially a screen for like a window. We had extra of that we used to repair windows at one point. So we took a old deer feeder, old tray that we were using for feeding deer in the winter. We used 1x material and just pin nailed that there and stuck the screen in between it. That is our sieve. And the fact that it actually works is the most surprising thing. What you're gonna do, once you go and you got your sieve, yeah, we're going redneck now, so I feel like that's what this deserves. What you're gonna do, you're gonna take some of your dirt, you're gonna go ahead and cup, and you're gonna go and take it, you're just gonna pour it in there, and shake the sieve. Now, I've got the pan under there, ready for cooking the dirt. So I'm just gonna go and sieve this through, and right onto the pan and go cook the dirt. I'm gonna do that real quick, then we'll go inside and we'll go and cook the dirt. So after we go and pull it through that sieve, this is with a little bit that I did right now. It is very fine. Like, you can kind of see how fine that is. That's some fine dirt. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna sieve a little bit more. Is it sift a little bit more? Because I think the sieve is that. So yeah, I'm gonna go and sift a bit more and go and fill up a good amount of this pan so that, I have extra for my redacted project. Then we'll get to cooking here in just a minute. Once I get the rest of the stuff sieved up, sifted up, whatever it is. I don't know. I ain't got not that much there multiplication. So yeah, we're gonna do that. And done. And now we got our dirt all in our pan. We gotta go inside and we gotta cook. I'll go get my buddy Jesse. We're gonna start cooking up. Maybe we'll do a little more cooking than just the dirt. You never know. All right, now into the house and let's go cook.
All right, now so we're heating the oven up. We're gonna go and take our dirt. We're gonna sit it in the oven. We're gonna be cooking at about 200 degrees for about an hour. Then our dirt should be dehydrated enough that any bacteria or organisms in there that should be dead, I hope. And there we go. We're gonna put that in there for about an hour. And once it's done, we'll come back to the video and see how it is. Don't it just smell yummy? It smells just like chicken. Oh wait, that's what we had last night. Never mind. It don't smell like nothing.
I don't know what it's actually supposed to look like. If there is even supposed to be like, a different color change, a lighter color change, I don't know. But I think it'll work. Now, I just gotta get a container for it, and I gotta let it cool down. Because I don't wanna touch it coming out of a 200-degree oven. Like, I'm an idiot. I ain't that stupid though. I'm gonna let it cool down, and we'll talk about it downstairs. At the desk again, where I normally make stuff. Why am I going Italian? I don't know. I'm going like 3 different accents in this video. What the hell is wrong with me? What the Okay, so since my insanity is now done, let's get into the actual crafting video. The actual vegetation step that I want to do for this video. So I start with putting down some wood glue on the diorama, spritzing it with water, and then using a wet paintbrush to spread it around. Then I just take a handful of dirt and sprinkle it over the area with the glue on it. I start with the area around the tree and in front of the house, then the front and side of the shop, and finally the back of the house, and in between the shop and house. And every time I finished with a section, I would tip the diorama over and clear any of the loose dirt.
and put it back in the container. Putting the base layer of dirt on was as simple as that. Quick, easy, done. Where it started to get a bit more complicated was when trying to get some dirt in the cracks between the flagstones within the shop. There are two problems with it. First off, the amount of plaster that I placed in between the stones didn't leave a lot of room between the top of the flagstones and the top of the plaster for dirt to settle into. You know, like it naturally would with an open air building like this. Secondly is consistency. This time it's the consistency of this watered down PVA or watered down wood glue that just isn't working with me. Over this whole step, from the dirt to the grasses and the bushes, I just couldn't get the right consistency for the watered down glue. You'll see in a little bit why it really becomes a bit of a problem. Back when I was making the plan for how I wanted to lay out the diorama, I said that I wanted a path going in front of the shop and house, and that's what I'm going to do first. Using a bottle of Earth Blend from Woodland Scenics, I grabbed some and sprinkled it along the area where I wanted the path to be. Then I start to glue down the Earth Blend with that watered down PVA glue. And this is where that consistency problem comes in. When I was trying to glue all the stuff down with the method that Neil from Real Terrain Hobbies and a lot of other people use, it wasn't working for me. Every time I dropped some glue onto the Earth Blend, it would create a small ball of glue, and I couldn't figure out why. But I kept on pushing through and working on the diorama, even though it frustrated the hell out of me. But I think after the fact, I may have figured out what I did wrong. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. Once I got a good amount of the Earth Blend glued down, I tipped the diorama up and let whatever wasn't glued down fall off. Then I pushed it back into the bottle. You know, try and save some stuff. Then I used the Battlefield Grass Green from Army Painter that's included in the Fire and Hammer kit for the rest of the grass. I had the same issue that I had with the Earth Blend with this Battlefield Grass. And here's where we talk about what I think I did wrong. I think the main problem that I had was I forgot to use the spray bottle that was included in the kit to wet down the grass before I tried using the glue on it. I was also dropping the glue on it from probably too high up, but that can be easily corrected. I gotta go lower. I gotta go closer to it to do it. So yeah, I think I know how to fix those problems that I was having, but that was after I had everything basically glued down how I wanted it. With the Battlefield Grass, I decided to do in front of the house and around the tree first, and a little bit in front of the shop. I also needed to add in a bit more Earth Blend for the front of the shop to make it look like a walking path was going into the front of the shop. Once all of that was down, I started to poorly glue the grass in place. If I had made the grass wet, I think it would have stuck better with the glue, but now I know that for the next time. After gluing down the first bit, I knocked off all the loose stuff and then I put more down in the areas that I missed with the glue and then worked on gluing it down again. Once that was all done, I just repeated the process for the back of the house, in between the buildings, and the small side of the shop. Once I finished with all of that, I tried following Neil's tutorials from Real Terrain Hobbies on this kit a bit more, but I'll be honest, I really didn't like how it was looking. Using static grass to make it look like moss going up the side of the building, it didn't feel like it was really working out for me. I just didn't like the look of it mostly. If I had a bit more of the dark green wash in there, it might have helped blend it in a bit more and make it look a bit better in my opinion. And it kind of just looks like a lawnmower went by and fired the grass onto a wet wall. It honestly does. Like that's how I saw it, and maybe I just didn't apply it correctly. So I'll probably just leave it as it is. And with that, I had all of the grass application done. So then I grabbed some of the clump foliage and started to make some bushes. I try to combine both the dark green for like the bottom of the bush and the light green on top to give it some variety. I made 3 different clumps of bushes. One at the back of the house, one on the side of the house in between the house and shop, and one near the tree where the path turns to the front of the shop. First putting down a bit of glue underneath the clumps and then using the watered down glue over the top to try and seal it in a bit, or kind of seal them to each other. But in the end, it didn't work out too well because after letting the glue dry for about a day, I tipped the diorama up and bits of the bushes fell off. So I had to re-glue them back on. I re-glued them back on, left them there for another 24 hours, and then tipped it again, and they didn't fall off this time. So I think they should be fine where they are, and they should stay. But I might come back with Woodland Scenics glue and just spray the whole thing down. So a lot of it does stay there. I don't know. But once the bushes were finished, I grabbed the included cork bits that are made to look like rocks from Army Painter, and I placed them around the diorama. Just, putting them around sparingly. I only used maybe 6 rocks for the whole thing, but I think it works out well. Then I started to work with the tufts that I have, which, that's another thing I haven't used before. Using the 3 different tufts that I got in the Fire and Hammer kit, which are the woodland shrubs, the lowland shrubs, and the meadow flowers, they were a breeze. Pull them off the sticker, a little bit of glue on them, put them on. They're as good as that. I put a bunch of the woodland shrubs around the base of the tree, and then scattered some of those, the lowland shrubs, and the meadow flowers throughout the diorama. I made sure to keep them sparse like I did with the rocks and just use them sparingly so they don't overwhelm the whole diorama. And I think they add just the right amount of pop in certain places within the diorama. And that's it for the vegetation step. I just have a few finishing touches that I need to put on, and then I'm going to call my first big project for this channel complete. Finally. But that's all I've got for this video, and if you enjoyed it, please do all that algorithm stuff. Like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and leave a comment down below of what you think of this project so far. But most importantly, I hope you have a royal day or night, depending on where you are or when you're watching this video.